Okay, so we've just finished 1 through 4, so now I'm going to try to get the rest in. Number 5. Cyrus is trying out for a middle school citywide football team. His first play, he gained 18 yards. His second play, he had an 8-yard loss. Third play, he gained 30 yards. And the fourth play, he lost 6 yards. What was Cyrus's total gains or losses? Okay, so I went through and I just read it one time. Now I'm going to go back and circle or underline important information. He gained 18 yards, okay? So that word gained means positive, right? In football, you want to gain yards. On the second play, he had an 8-yard loss. The third play, he gained 30 yards. And the fourth play, he lost 6 yards. What was Cyrus's total gains or losses? Okay, so on this one, you're going to have to indicate whether it is a positive number or a negative number. So a positive would be the gains, and the losses would be negative. So he started off by gaining 18 yards, so I had 18. Then like I said earlier, like to add a negative, okay? You don't have to. You could just subtract 8 yards. So it really technically could look like this. 18 minus 8 yards plus 30 yards minus 6 yards, okay? But I don't like to do that. I like to do it like this. He had 18 yards. He gained 18 yards plus negative 8 yards plus 30 yards plus negative 6 yards. Okay, that's the way I like to do it. That's the way I suggest you do it. Now, if you wanted to just add and subtract left to right, I guarantee you will get the same answer, okay? The way I like to do it is I like to combine my positives and combine my negatives. So I have 18 positives and 30 positives. 18 plus 30 is 48 plus negative. I have negative 8 and negative 6. No. Negative 8 and negative 6, that would be same sign add. So that's negative 14. Now, so I had 48 total gains and 14 total losses. Same sign add, different sign subtract. 48 minus 14. But Miss Gentry, this says plus. I know, but when you're using the addition rules, the integer rules, same sign add, different sign subtract. 8 minus 4 is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. So that's 34. Did you have more positives or more negatives? Did you have more gains or more losses? Well, you had more gains, so that's 34 yards gained. So if I was going to have to bubble this, I know one of them is a bubble sheet. I would bubble in the positive, and then here's a decimal. This is the ones. This is the tens. This would be 3, 4. Okay? All right, now this one right here, it's a model. It says the model represents the process in simplifying the expression 22 minus negative 14. Okay, simplifying the expression is just a fancy way of them saying solve the problem. Okay, on this problem right here, on your actual test, you have counters. You have positive counters and you have negative counters. Okay, and then every single answer choice is counters. Okay, I didn't want to, and Mr. Ashmore didn't want to make all of these counters, so he just said what would be the next step. Okay, whenever you are subtracting integers, can you actually subtract integers? No, you have to keep it, change it, change it. Okay, so if I have 22 minus negative 14. Now, why is there a parentheses here? Just to keep this negative from getting lost. Okay, I want to keep it, change it, change it. This stays the same. I'm going to change this to a positive and this to a positive. I changed the subtraction sign to an addition sign, the negative sign to a positive sign. It says, which is the next step in simplifying the expression? Well, what is it? 22 plus 14. Look right here. They kept it, changed it, and forgot to change this, so that won't work. All they've done here is get rid of a negative, so that's not going to work. Right here, they changed that to a negative, so no way. So my answer here is D. Now, on your actual test, there is going to actually be an equal sign. Guys, cross out your 0 pairs. Do it like you're supposed to, and you will get the right answer. This is what I like to call freebies. Okay, number 7. Gage says, let's put an S here. Gage says his new ski jacket can handle temperatures of negative 32 degrees Fahrenheit. However, Savannah claims her ski jacket can stay warm 10 degrees below Gage's jacket. Okay, there's a word right there, below his jacket. Which of the following expressions represents the temperatures Savannah's jacket could withstand? Okay, so first of all, Gage's jacket says that he can stay warm at negative 32 degrees. Sorry, I really don't know what the last thing is that I said. So let's just talk about it. So Gage's jacket can handle temperatures of negative 32 degrees. That is very cold. However, Savannah claims that her jacket can stay warm 10 degrees below Gage's. Okay, so if Gage's is at negative 32, and Savannah is saying that hers can withstand 10 degrees more, I could add a negative 10 to that. Okay, so now I just need to follow my integer rules. Same sign, add. Have a negative 32 and a negative 10. Same sign, add. So what's 32 plus 10? 42. Same sign, keep the sign. Okay? So look right here. Negative 32 plus 10. Is 22 10 degrees colder than 32? No, that would be warmer, right? 32 plus 10 degrees, that would be 10 degrees warmer. But this right here, this negative 42 right here, that is not the answer choice to this. Okay? Because this would be different signs, subtract. So the answer to this would actually be negative 22. Now, this is the correct answer to what we are looking for, but the equation is not correct. You need to make sure that you're paying close attention to the equation because that's trickery right there. Okay, so far I think this one is going to work because this is negative 32 Gage's jacket. Savannah's can go 10 degrees colder, so that gives me negative 42, so that will work. This right here is a no-go. Okay, this one right here, number 8, is back to absolute value. If you need to look back in your comp book, you know that the absolute value and opposite, it says the opposite of the unknown number. It says Wendy is trying to identify a number. She knows the following properties. Properties, that's just another word for saying like characteristics. Like if I was talking to you, I would say some of the following properties of you are maybe you have blue eyes or brown hair or you wear glasses. Okay, it's just like a descriptor of something. So the properties of the unknown number are this. The opposite of the unknown number is 9. So if the opposite is 9, what is the opposite of this 9? Well, opposite is a number, if it's positive, the opposite of it is negative. So that would be negative 9. And then this one says the absolute value of the unknown number is 9. Well, what do we know about absolute value? Absolute value is the distance from 0. Write that down. Well, if it's saying the absolute value of the unknown number is 9, the unknown number would either be negative 9 or 9 because the absolute value of those two numbers is negative 9. So, what is the number that Wendy is trying to identify? It has nothing to do with negative 1/9 or positive 1/9, excuse me. So if I know the opposite of the unknown number is 9, well, 9 is the opposite of negative 9, so I'm thinking that this is my answer. What is the absolute value of negative 9? 9. So this fits both of those characteristics because the absolute value of this would be, the opposite of 9 would be -9, but I'm looking for the opposite as 9. That right there is kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky in how it's worded. It's kind of tricky in how you have to solve it. Okay, so pay close attention to what you're doing. Okay, 2 more problems. It says, during the coldest week of winter in Lubbock, Texas in 2009, the temperatures were recorded in the following table. Okay, on this one right here, what I need for you to do, it's important that you're listening right now. I need you to take this 7 on Saturday right here, mark that out, and I want you to change that to a 4. If you do not change Saturday to a 4, it will not work. I made the copies before I checked over it. So after I checked over it, I decided I needed to change that number. It says during the, here are the temperatures. To find the average. Okay, you did average last year in 5th grade. It might have been called something like the mean. The average is the mean of the temperatures. And right here, in case you don't remember, it gives you a little blurb about it. To find the averages of the temperature, you find the sum of the temperatures for all of the days, and then divide the total number of the days in the week. So let's add all of this up. So I have a whole bunch of negatives. So I want to add my negatives first, and then I'm going to add my positives. Well, 5 plus 6 is 11, plus 12 and 14. So I have -11, because I added 5 and 6 and got -11, plus -12, same sign add, that's 13, that's 23 negatives, plus 14 more negatives, so that's 37 negatives. Okay, so then I want to add this up. 4 and 4 is 8, plus another 8 is 16, plus 16 positives. Same sign add, different sign subtract. Well, all you need to do, what is 37 minus 16? But it says to add. I know, but this is a negative and this is a positive. Your signs are different. You're left with 21. Did you have more positives or more negatives? You had more negatives, so that's -21. That is not your answer choice. You need to go back and make sure you're reading what it says to do. It says, then divide the total number of days by the total number of days of the week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Divided by 7. What is -21 divided by 7? -3. So the average of the temperatures, that would be very cold, was -3 degrees. Hopefully that doesn't happen this year. Okay, number 10. The table shows, let's put an S, the low temperatures in Antarctica for the same day of the month from September to December in 2013. So we have all of these days. It says the low temperature in Antarctica on May 11th was the opposite of the low temperature on November 10th, 2013. What was the low temperature in Antarctica on May 11th, 2013? The very first thing that I know some of you are probably thinking is, hey, there's no May 11th on here. Right, because it's asking you to find that. It says the low temperature on May 11th was the opposite of what it was on November 10th. So come over here to November 10th. It was -21 and 2/10. The opposite of that would be positive 21 and 2/10. Now this will be a griddable. Here is the decimal. Here is the ones. Here is the tenths. Here is the tens. Here's the tenths. You need to bubble it. 21.2. Make sure that you are bubbling in the positive and the negative. Okay, that's it for this test. One thing that you need to for sure do is go back and read the lyrics to the song. You need to really study this. You should do well on this. Okay, this is a pretty easy test. All right, thanks. Have a great day.